still, be still, be still. 'Cause I am God, and I am.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow Podcast. My name is Spencer Thomas Albay Cartier.
And I am Rita's Water Ice.
And we are back after a little hiatus, a little video short hiatus.
A little biatus.
We put up a few short videos.
Yeah.
A little change of pace. Yeah. That was fun.
Podcast was gone, but Croak and Crow was not gone.
Croak and Crow is forever. Yeah. And so we're coming off of the last podcast we did was the New Year's Eve party. So we got to dial it down a bit. All right. We've sort of amped up the energy. And now we got to breathe and bring it back down.
Yeah.
2021 is about peace. It's about calmness of the mind and the soul.
That's right.
And so that's how we're going to get into it. So we told you before, back in 2020, remember that year?
I tried.
That was a mess.
I try not to.
We are doing a little bit different format. Instead of you presenting me with a topic, we are going to pull a topic that was given to us by the audience, by any of you guys. And we're both going to be punched in the face with the surprise being that topic. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about anything. Now, we have a fishbowl, but our good friend Sierra at C Cup Design is currently customizing it, making it Croak and Crow, the Croak and Crow fishbowl. So until then, we have a nice Tupperware bowl. We hope it will make do.
Not so nice Tupperware bowl.
Yeah. Is there soup eaten out of this right before you use it?
I don't know.
Beef barley.
Oh my God.
All right, so should we get right into it? Do you know what podcast number it is?
No, yeah, we can't get right into it. We have to remember how we used to do this.
How do we podcast?
We say our hellos. You say your name and I make up mine.
Yeah, we did that.
And then we say what podcast it is.
Yeah.
Number wise.
Okay.
And since we don't remember, then we just go, oh, Frank's here.
Oh, yeah, Frank.
The Christmas tree is gone. And then if you watched the New Year's Eve party, you met Frank. But if you didn't watch the New Year's Eve party, you still can. But also, this is Frank, our friend.
It's a new addition.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the middle of transforming our studio into an actual studio space. And we just thought two people weren't enough. You know, you can only look at this face so long. We had to add another one just who talks a little less.
Yeah, he represents all of you guys, the listener without a voice.
Just insert your face right here, and then that's you.
Yeah. So then we, and he also comforts us during hard times. Then we go like, it's podcast number.
Wait, and we know what episode it is. It's the 41st, because New Year's Eve was a big celebration, 40th, and with the explosion.
20 plus 20 is 40, and now it is 41.
It's episode 41.
Episode 41.
We got that all squared away. I think we got the intro all squared away.
Yeah.
We hit every cylinder. We might be a little rusty with this 4-day break, but we covered it all.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You should be nervous.
I am.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
You're the rookie on the team. You're like, this is my first time in the big leagues.
It is. Although, to be fair, I mean, I never really researched the other ones, but yeah, this is worse.
This is worse. You have a little advantage.
This is the worst. Just kidding. Don't be afraid of speaking on things you don't know anything
about.
about.
There's not many in here. So, as we said and we will say, just continue sending them to us. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, throw some examples out.
It could be Hanukkah.
It could be a little late. It could be Hanukkah. It could be art. It could be a whole sentence. Like, why do priests have to be called father? I don't know. Not that. I wouldn't know what to say. All right. Here we go. I got one. Drum roll, please. It's just a psalm. Psalm 46:10.
Okay.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Okay.
Well, Frank is already being still, so he might be the person who put that in our fishbowl.
Be still. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. So is it about being still? Is that the takeaway from that?
I think it is. So it's a psalm.
Okay.
Psalm is in the Bible. And
Thank you for coming to Croak and Crow.
Psalm is it's also the name of Kim Kardashian's youngest child.
There's more than one child?
Of Kim and Kanye? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just North.
North had a brother Saint, had a sister Chicago, had a brother Psalm.
No.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them?
Yes.
I guess I haven't been keeping up with the Kardashians.
Did you say all that for that?
No.
Oh, okay. The Psalms are in the New Testament?
No, Old Testament.
Old Testament?
It's David.
Okay. So
Mostly David.
It's just
I messed up on that before. And
Okay.
I said they're all by David. Like 90% by David.
all right. And they are like songs, they are like poems.
They are, like songs or poems. You're on the money.
And there's a lot because I remember the numbers are like
Yeah.
Which one was this? Don't put it back in the fishbowl.
This is a 46th Psalm.
46, but they go into the hundreds. There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot. So that's what for starters. That's what a psalm is.
For firsters.
And this one says, "Be still." Well, I guess we could diagram.
Read it again.
Well, we could just dissect it. No, not the whole thing because we don't have good memory retention. So it's not the whole psalm. It's Psalm. When you see
10.
what is the psalm? 46.
46.
Right. So when you see, I was just explaining Bible, how to read a Bible verse. It's
Yes.
the name of the book.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, the name of the book, the name of the chapter, and the name of the verse or the line.
Right. So this is not all of Psalm 46.
This is not.
It's just one line.
It's just one line.
Spencer, stop repeating.
I'm hitting it home.
Got you. Yeah. No. Oh, that's good. Like,
yeah. You give it to me, I give it to them.
All right. So
A transfer of
it's
energy.
just one line.
One line.
So for people who are like, "Ugh, January, what is it? The 3rd, 4th, 5th? I don't know.
Today?
Yeah.
Today is January 4th.
It's the first few days of January.
5th.
It's the first few days of January. People are like, they're starting the podcast with the Bible verse.
Boring. I'm going to go watch how-to videos.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I do. This is how to read a Bible verse. So it's but it's like one line of one chapter of one book.
This is 3 lines, I think.
No, but is it?
Be still, know that I am God. I think there's should be a period there. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.
I think it's one. I think that's all 10.
Yeah, I could read it in all one breath.
No, yeah.
Be still, know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. I
I'll
could
be
have done it.
exhausted.
I could have done it if I wasn't.
I'll be exhausted in the earth. Okay, so that's what a psalm is. Then this psalm is starting with "Be still," which I love. I love this command.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love
You
this.
don't gotta tell me twice, Lord.
I love to obey the Bible when it tells me to be still. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think being still is important. Not in the literal sense, but in the literal sense. How many times we say on this podcast, what causes anxiety or get worrying? You're moving around. Oh, how am I going to, take the kids to soccer practice and then take my husband to the bowling alley? What kind of life do you have?
Why am I taking the husband?
And it's this lack of faith. It's this lack of faith. It's. I was listening to this motivational speaker talk today, not in real life, just on my cellular phone, and
Mobile.
they were saying worry is for an orphan. It's an orphan fear. No, an orphan demon. They painted it in a weird way, and I'm like, what are they saying? But it came around, and they're like, worry is like being a spiritual orphan. You're saying, this is all happening. How do I handle it?
Okay.
And it's like, then they went on like, you have the greatest father.
Okay.
Like, what are you worrying for? You're a child. What are you And this be still thing is like, is just that. Is what happens when you get lost in the supermarket? What does your parents tell you? They say, stay where you are. Let's not go be doing the Scooby-Doo chase.
Right.
Be
yeah,
still.
you're right. You're right.
Be still. You're just going to make it worse for yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to end up in the international aisle. And then your mom is over in the canned soup aisle.
Yeah.
You'll never find your way home.
Never.
Never.
The store will close and reopen.
Yeah, they'll just like throw you a vest and you're going to start working there. 20 years later,
a price checker.
Your mom's going to come in with her new kids and then you're going to recognize her and you're going to say, Mom. And she'll say, who are you?
I forgot. The time passed how long you make your examples. Remember the, I'm sure they have them in America too, but we saw them in
America.
Spain, the people who hold the pose at the tourist attractions, remember?
Frank is actually doing that right now.
Yeah.
We picked him up off of what's that? It's like a famous street in Spain.
Oh, I can't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? They also have, I think I did see them in New Orleans. You pretend you're a statue, and
for the rest of the podcast, I'm going to do just that.
And then you scare people when they get closer and stuff. Could you do that? I couldn't do it for 1 second. Okay. So, also, Avalon told me this thing where you take your phone and you put on the timer and you close your eyes and you open your eyes after 1 minute. And it shows you how long a minute is and how you do not know how long a minute is. Because if you try it, like I opened my eyes in 15 seconds. Spencer.
I think the blinking is the hardest part.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do they do? I wonder if they just close their eyes.
I don't know. Oh, no. They like to see the people around them.
Oh, yeah, like the Robot Man.
They don't blink, I don't think. So that I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I tried that minute thing. I got like, it was like, I felt like I'm like, all right, I'm definitely going a little over now. It's only 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So, that's a great way. And there's meditations where you are still, definitely. And there's yoga positions where you try to be still.
Because when you think of still waters. Think of a peace. There's not crashing waves. There's no one surfing on your waves of anxiety. No. Be calm, still like water.
Right.
And then you attract mosquitoes.
That's right. Stagnant.
That's right. The spiritual mosquitoes.
That's right.
So yeah. So I think, did we cover be still?
I don't know. We could come back to it.
Know that I am God.
Okay.
I think we should have said that all in one. No, maybe not. But yeah. And
well, it goes to what you just said about the spiritual orphan. It'd be easier to be still if you felt that God was taking care of you.
Just switch that and say, be still, know that I'm your father. Like, hey, relax.
Right.
Papa's here.
Yeah, definitely. If you were in the woods.
You gotta worry about nothing.
If you were in the woods and you would be frantic and panicking, not like on a walk.
On my morning jog, I'm just freaking out.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me again. No, like if you're lost in the woods, you know?
I don't know if I would. It would take like a really bad situation for me to start really freaking out. How lost am I?
You're super lost. And it's been days and it's dark.
But if it's been days, I feel like the freaking out time has passed.
Really? You would start freaking out? I wonder when the freaking out ends.
I don't know if it ever starts. I think there's a.
Oh, I think it would start.
Well, for you, but I think you would freak out if you came on my morning jog. No, because I think, it's a transition from this isn't happening to we're in this now. And I don't think there's a time where you can just like scream. That's like, okay, I'm fine. Wait, things aren't fine. And then you're when would the screaming start?
Even if you were crying, you might cry just in the beginning.
Getting out of your car.
No, but like if you're really alone and you really have to help yourself, I think you would like crying's not like people always tell you crying's not going to help, but you would really know it at that point. Like
yeah,
crying's not going to help.
There's a book. It's like Bury the Hatchet or something. And it's about like a plane goes down and this young boy, I think he goes blind, but he's just by himself in the woods, and like late into the story he just talks, and he's like he forgot about his own voice, because it's like when you are fully alone, there's some things that you don't need anymore. You know, you don't. And then he started talking to himself.
Oh my gosh, I have to. Are you done with your story?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to tell you something. Whenever I take long drives, this is so strange, or maybe not. Every time I take long drives. If I drive to Florida, or even if it's not that far, but if it
Wawa.
No, at the 2-hour mark, whether I've time, I never time it, but I always will look, and I'll be like, I've been driving for 2 hours. At 2 hours, I start talking out loud.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Up to that point, I'm just driving, maybe listening to music, maybe thinking of something. I don't know, looking out the window, doing whatever. Around 2 hours, I start to say, like, that's a weird truck. Like, I just start narrating and speaking out loud.
You can only go for silence for so long.
I guess. All right. What's next?
What's next? I'll tell you what's next. I will be exalted among the nations. Now, that's a big word, and I don't know the definition of it.
Exalted? It sounds just like celebrated, honored, recognized. I don't know if that's a threat or if that's
I guess I should just read the rest.
Statement.
I'll be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. I wish I knew the exact definition of exalted.
Come on. Exaltations.
I know. I can use context clues.
Exaltations. That's a Christmas song.
Christmas is over. No more Advent.
Sorry. I know. I have to do something else.
To hold in a very high regard, think or speak highly of.
Right. So I don't know if that statement, well, it's written by David, you're saying. So it's not a threat. Like if God wrote it, it's like, oh, I will be exalted,
Yeah.
But David wrote it, I'm guessing. We could look that up later. But so it's more of like.
Yeah. Once again, I'm going to modernize this.
I guess.
No,
he wrote it from the God's perspective because it says I.
Yeah. I'm going to modernize it, help all you youths.
Even the elders.
So, no, okay. So this is what it's saying. Relax. Papa's here. Everybody knows about me. The town knows about me. The city knows about me.
Right.
Okay? They know who Papa is. I'm Daddy G.
When I walk in, sit up
I'm Daddy
straight.
G.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, oh my God, like my pops, he's real. He's got clout. That's what he's saying. He's saying, be still. I got you. We blood, we family. All right.
Right.
And I got a lot of clout. All right. I got a lot of clout around these groups, and just in this city. This is my city. That's what he's saying. He's popping his collar.
run this city.
He said, I run this city. I run these nations. I run this earth.
Mm.
And then you're like, what was I worrying for?
Mm-hmm.
My dad's a real deal.
Right.
Know?
Right.
So that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
And so it's like, relax, I'm at a big Don Corleone.
Mm-hmm.
You think the little daughter, obviously we're comparing it to a mafia member, but think of it as less violent and negative. But you think the little daughter's running around like, oh, what am I going to do? I don't have enough money. I'm scared. Your dad's the Don.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's exalted
Mm-hmm.
in around here. Exalted. That means to be held or to be praised highly.
Right.
I looked that one up. And so I think, that's my modern spin on it.
Yeah, definitely. I will be exalted in the earth. Reminds me, in the New Year's, was it New Year's Eve or was it the day before New Year's? I think it was New Year's Eve, but anyway, I was you were asking about like, will the earth fall into ruin and because I think maybe you were talking about the fall of Rome and just like,
I said, is it going to fall again?
Cycles and diseases and natural disasters, everything that scares everybody about the earth. And I was saying how the earth will be okay and therefore we will be okay. And so the last line, I will be exalted in the earth. I it just speaks to me as, the earth celebrates him for a reason, because he will take care of the earth.
Yeah.
Which that's in other Bible verses of him taking care, knowing every blade of grass and every bird. So the earth is good, will be good.
Will be good.
Because we live from, on the earth and from it. So, it's just a really comforting psalm.
In the words of the great Robert Marley, don't you worry about a thing.
Every little thing gonna be all right.
That's a psalm of its own, right?
In a way. What is the definition of psalm? Should this be the definition podcast?
Yeah. I'm thinking song. Maybe like a...
Because I know a lot of them. It was
song.
like... Because when I read like the new American Standard Edition, and like it sort of gave little keynotes or footnotes about what each thing was to. So for the Psalms, it would say like to the choir master,
right?
And so it
has actual instructions before. Not every psalm, or just some of the psalms.
Everyone had instruction.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm getting a little nuts here.
Somewhat, right? Because there's hundreds.
A sacred song or hymn.
So
in particular,
sacred.
any of those are contained in the Bible.
Okay, or hymn. Right. So you're kind of reading lyrics without the melody.
So David is one of the original MCs, maybe.
So many songs. I think I said that too earlier in earlier podcast, that you can find religion in songs. Mm-hmm. You can find they are lyrics. They are like the original psalms.
That's a big thing.
Depending on the song.
There's so many places you can find religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the Bible? Someone define it to me.
Podcast number B.
That was early. That must have been 7?
I don't know.
It's divinely inspired, which means a connection with God, and wrote down. So David's Psalms were songs that he wrote while being connected to God.
Yeah.
So
it really was. It really was because you also had some that weren't so joyful, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it's just like someone with their album, like what was their feeling?
Yeah, and call me a heretic. Call me one.
You're a heretic.
I'm not, but I personally believe there's so many different. I guess I might be getting a little too controversial.
A little too much
here.
for January. First week of January.
Yeah, January. Yeah.
Come on.
I'm going to.
No, it's fine. That's when people have energy.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah.
February is when we have to start giving out prizes and
Valentine's.
Valentine's.
Yeah. A lot of people say the Bible was written by God.
Okay.
Fully. Basically, I'm David. I go in zombie mode. And I write in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's like
automatic writing.
Yeah, those are, every word is by God.
Right.
Which I don't really think. I think David himself was personally touched by God.
Mm-hmm.
And he was writing through his human self and his mind. David was a person,
Yeah.
And he was there, and he had this connection with God, and he was writing down what he believed, what he saw, all these little things. Therefore, what I'm going with that is I'm not saying other things are equal to books of the Bible. But what I'm saying is I don't believe there's as big of a disconnect as, oh, that's not sacred at all. It's well, if normal human beings had a connection with God and was able to write things through that connection, what's stopping people nowadays?
Right.
If maybe even rappers.
No, absolutely rappers. Everybody who goes through an experience, a human experience. So already we're going to have some, we're all humans.
We are.
And,
or are we?
Beep, boop, boop. We got to do that now for 2021. Got to bring it with us from 2020. Their experience, and that's why people's albums are oh, that was her. Just like artists, is it, who's in has a blue period, and was it Picasso?
Yeah.
Different albums were that's when she broke up with this person, or this when he, did whatever. So it's the experiences that David was going through, brings us back to that time to begin with. And then he was very spiritual. He had a very deep and active relationship with God.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to know about that? Like when you say, if you could talk to anybody in history, and people say, oh, I'd like to talk to Alexander Graham Bell.
Marilyn Monroe. That'd be a good drag name.
Yeah. I was just thinking
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my God.
Well, I bet it's taken.
It might be.
It's too good.
Yeah, like you want to talk to these people from the past because you're like, you just have questions, ask them what was going on and what was it like. And the Psalms do that without you having to,
Yeah, definitely.
up.
Yeah, no, it's probably my favorite book from the Bible. I mean, I know it's like cliche.
Is it?
The Psalms?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone's
really?
favorite.
Who?
Everyone's.
Oh, everyone.
It's like everyone's favorite, the Psalms.
Is
Besides
it?
like the New Testament.
Tell us what your favorite book of the Bible is.
If someone says Numbers, I'm going to hit you upside the head. That book was tough. I think you need to be so spiritually...
I like Luke, I think.
I think you have to be so spiritually woke, maybe, to understand like numbers.
Oh, now you're challenging me because I don't like numbers. And I think I'll try to read it.
It's not even like I would prefer it if it was just count. It was like they're numbering the Israelites.
Oh.
And it's just
1,
No,
2.
that would be better. It's these names that you can't pronounce. Jabadiah of Mezekiah and son of Labadiah.
Interesting. I wonder if you read it. I think we talked about this before. Doing something like a mantra or a chant, and your mouth and mind and is saying Jebediah, but you're actually clearing your mind for. Are you tired?
No.
Really? Because I think you've been yawning all the time.
Yeah, I know. And it's like video camera, so everyone can see.
I think you need. Oh, it's empty. Some Red Bull.
Bang energy drink. Oh, that'd be a good segment. It's because you didn't buy me a coffee today. All right, guess what? The tea's on the table, and guess what's not on the table? The coffee.
Well, guess what's not on the floor? The coffee, because I bought coffee the day before this, and it's not cheap. Starbucks. My PayPal is my name. No, not my PayPal. I was thinking, my Venmo. Venmo is my name. You dumped it on the ground. So
you were trying to film it. We better have an inner business argument right now.
No.
You were trying to film a TikTok. I was clearing a space, and my
That's
coffee
right.
happened
That's
to be
right.
in the space that.
Welcome back. Welcome to 2021. Check out our TikTok. Our most recent one, we do a taste test of vegan beef jerky.
And if you watch it, and you see that I'm a little dead in the eyes. It's because I'm just staring at what
That is coffee.
what once was my coffee.
And yeah, we won't tell you if we liked it or not. You'll have to watch the TikTok.
Check it out at Croak and Crow on TikTok.
Croak and Crow.
Croak and Crow.
Yeah. So, anyways, ding. You were yawning.
We just do that. That's what we do over again.
Yeah. So, do you recommend the Psalms to people, or you just kind of?
Yeah. No, I recommend the Psalms over any. Oh wait, I was talking about Numbers.
Oh, that's right. The book of Numbers.
I'll go back to Psalms. I did.
It's in the Old Testament.
Yeah, it's in the Old Testament. That's early Old Testament.
Okay.
I did think what you said, where it's like, oh, is it a mantra, sort of like
right? It's taking you out of your own mind.
When I read it, that's like so many times I wanted to cheat. I'm like, I can see these next 2 pages are just doing lineage, and I'm like, I forced myself. I'm like, all right, you're reading every name just in case you might get a little surprise at the end. Finish the last page and a portal opens up.
Oh wow.
To the third dimension.
Yeah, that's funny. I wonder that myself sometimes.
And as far as recommending the Psalms, this here is a Psalm. Do I recommend reading the Psalms? Yes. A lot of people, they tell you to read the same old books. Oh, read Corinthians. First I say Psalms are everyone's favorite. Now I'm saying no one reads the Psalms.
I know.
If you are a person who just can't make the leap to jump into a Bible read, I don't even recommend the New Testament. You heretic. How can you be a Christian and not recommend someone reads Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the only thing they read in the Bible? That's the only important thing. I say to you, I don't care. If you're Christian or you're not, and you believe in Jesus, great. You've heard the stories. That's not going to get you. That's not going to get a fire going and say, I want to sit down and read the Bible. Because guess what? As good as the books are, it's still a book like the Old Testament. You're sitting there, you're reading some old words. What I do recommend is the Psalms.
It's like a newspaper, really. The Gospels of the Apostles.
Yeah.
You could look at it like it's a newspaper because it's reporting on events.
It'd be great to read the whole thing. I recommend reading the whole thing. But if you're just looking for a daily read,
let me try.
Go through the Psalms. Like, because they were made as these hymns and songs, it's like it gets to the point. There's so many that cover such a variety of things, and you feel accomplished. Like when you're reading some, it's my favorite books. One of the reasons for the Psalms is because there were so many books. It would be like books of the Bible. I'm saying, where I'd have to it would take me 3 days just to read the one part, and I would always hate it because it felt like I was so unfinished. Yeah. So the Psalms were so digestible. Yeah. So easy to get something out of each one and then move on. So.
Yeah, and newsflash. Sorry, you have a point to point.
Read the Psalms.
Breathe
the Psalms.
The Psalms. You've already read some Psalms because if you are on social media and you see inspirational anythings.
Yeah, so many times.
So many. If you see this nice little, feel good sentence and you're going to look at the bottom and it's going to say Psalm with a number. And so you've already started reading the Psalms, really.
Psalms and Proverbs. Proverbs is like the same thing.
Are Proverbs more like Proverbs? Pop-ups. We're having a pop-up Proverbs store. Aren't Proverbs more like what to do? I find Proverbs a little judgy. They're the ones that are like, don't be lazy. You better get up. You better do something.
I like Psalms better, but Proverbs, it was just like easiest to equate to because it's Solomon, David's son, who wrote, I don't want to say all the Proverbs because I don't know anymore, but similar, digestible. But yeah, because Proverbs are more of like ancient Chinese proverbs.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Confucius, ancient Chinese secret. I was going to say, if you're not a Christian, because, if you're like, I'm not whatever the Chinese religion is, because I never know. I always forget. It's not one of the most famous ones that you always hear.
Buddhist?
No, it's not. Chinese have a religion that, like a national religion. Of course, not everybody, but like
Confucius.
No, it's nothing that you can think of. Anyway, I don't know it, but like I'm interested in their spiritual leaders' little inspirational sayings, as in any of them, of Islam or of
Hindi,
all sorts of things. But right, so if you're not a Christian, there are Psalms that are just about yourself, being your best self.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I think it's important. It's this God believing man. Take that how you want it. Mm-hmm. Going through his life with his higher power. Mm-hmm. It's not, and that's what I think the Psalms have something for everyone. Like the New Testament for Christians is great, but if you're just maybe you're not particularly in one direction religious wise, the Psalms I think they have something that can be taken away by anyone, right? No matter their religion, no matter their belief,
right? And if you're a musician, maybe you could try to put some back to music. Yeah, lyrics are already written for you, and I'm sure they're not copywritten because it's the Bible.
No, I think you just go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a go. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations in the earth. I will.
This has to be edited.
Exalted.
Why would you sing like that?
Why?
When I said musician, I didn't mean a church musician. I meant like a musician, like you're playing at the bent elbow down the street. Like, I thought you would.
I don't follow.
My mind does not go there. You sang it like some terrible. Sorry, I mean.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Old lady at church.
Okay. Be still
Yeah, there you go.
and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations.
Later.
And I will be exalted in the earth.
You don't even have to read it straight through. You could do like, be
Well,
still, be still, be still. Because I am God, and I am. No, we got to cut this out.
This is all staying.
Gotta cut it out. Okay, why not?
Why not?
2021.
2021. Who cares?
Oops, look at me. Look at me to the audio guy. I don't care about anything
But
because I'm
stop.
rock and roll now.
No.
AC/DC's back.
Don't bring AC/DC into this. That is the devil's music.
SCVC.
Okay.
Cut.
No. Yeah, I think what you're trying to do now is you're trying to force me to cut it by acting
Yeah,
wacky.
yeah.
I still am not cutting it.
All right. Well, that's our time. Thank you for joining. Still don't have my NPR voice. Perfect, but
Are we, is this it?
don't you think?
Yeah, I was wondering. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Come on, it's our first day.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Yes, this was our first podcast of 2021. We're still trying to figure out the kinks, but we'll be back and just getting better than ever. Look forward to, what are we looking forward to this week? Just a week of podcasts?
Podcasts. Behind the scenes, we're doing the van.
Behind the scenes, we're doing the van. So I'm not saying there is a van build video coming up, even though I've been saying that for months.
They're looking forward to the fishbowl finally
fishbowl.
making its debut.
There's so many things happening, we can't keep up. But if you enjoy our podcast, if you enjoy our commentary about all things religious and non-religious, then subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Or comment down below.
Yeah.
And most importantly, before you subscribe, before you do anything, write a topic you want to hear us talk about. Because then, when you write us a topic, I'm going to tell you what you're really doing. You are becoming this guy right here. And we are sitting with you and discussing the topic.
Frank can't write anything. Okay? Write for him.
And discussing the topic that you wrote for us. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I've been drawing on long enough. It's been real. I'm Spencer. She's something. What's your name?
I
What's
was
your name?
Rita's water ice today.
Rita's Water Ice. And this is Croak and Crow. Peace.
Yeah.